Interview with a Jungian Analyst. What they do. The mystery of the unconscious mind. Have you ever had a dream that felt so vivid, so meaningful, that it stayed with you for days? Or maybe you've caught yourself reacting to something in a way that surprised even you, as if some hidden part of yourself suddenly took control? What if I told you that these experiences aren't random, but rather your unconscious mind trying to communicate something essential about who you are and what you need to heal? Today, we are diving deep into the world of Jungian analysis, a unique form of therapy that doesn't just help you cope with symptoms, but actually helps you discover and integrate the hidden parts of yourself that have been shaping your life from the shadows. Carl Jung once said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." This isn't just poetic language. It's a roadmap to understanding why we repeat certain patterns, why we feel stuck, and how we can break free to become who we are truly meant to be. But what exactly does a Jungian analyst do? How is this different from other forms of therapy? And could this approach be the missing piece in your own journey of self-discovery? What is a Jungian analyst? A Jungian analyst is someone who has undergone extensive training in the theories and methods developed by Carl Jung, the Swiss psychiatrist who revolutionized our understanding of the human psyche. But here's what makes them unique. They're not just treating symptoms or trying to fix what's wrong with you. Instead, they're helping you embark on what Jung called the journey of individuation, the process of becoming your authentic self. Think of a Jungian analyst as a guide who helps you navigate the landscape of your own unconscious mind. They're trained to recognize the symbols, patterns, and themes that emerge from your dreams, your relationships, and your life experiences. They understand that your psyche is constantly trying to heal itself, and their job is to help you listen to what it's trying to tell you. Unlike traditional therapists who might focus on changing behaviors or challenging thoughts, Jungian analysts work with the assumption that your unconscious mind holds profound wisdom about your path to wholeness. They believe that your symptoms, your dreams, even your struggles, are all part of your psyche's natural healing process. Have you ever noticed how the same types of people or situations keep showing up in your life? A Jungian analyst would be curious about what your unconscious mind is trying to work through by creating these patterns. They might ask you to explore what these recurring themes represent, rather than simply trying to avoid them. How Jungian analysis differs from traditional therapy. Here's where things get really interesting. While traditional therapy often focuses on solving problems or managing symptoms, Jungian analysis is more like archaeological work. You're digging deep to uncover the hidden treasures of your psyche. In traditional therapy, you might talk about your anxiety and learn coping strategies. In Jungian analysis, you might explore what your anxiety is trying to protect you from, what deeper fear or unmet need it represents, and how it connects to the larger story of your life. Jungian analysts pay special attention to what Jung called the transcendent function, the psyche's natural ability to create new possibilities by bringing together opposing forces within you. Instead of trying to eliminate difficult emotions or thoughts, they help you find the creative tension that can lead to growth and transformation. For example, if you're struggling with feelings of anger, a traditional therapist might help you manage that anger. A Jungian analyst would be curious about what that anger is trying to tell you. What boundary needs to be set? What part of yourself needs to be honored? What creative energy is locked up in that anger that could be transformed into something life-giving? This approach requires patience and a willingness to sit with uncertainty. It's not about quick fixes or immediate relief. It's about the slow, sometimes challenging work of becoming whole. Working with dreams and symbols. One of the most fascinating aspects of Jungian analysis is the work with dreams. Jung believed that dreams were the royal road to the unconscious, not just random neural firings, but meaningful communications from the deeper layers of your psyche. A Jungian analyst doesn't interpret your dreams for you. Instead, they help you develop a relationship with your own dream life. They might ask you questions like, what emotions did you feel in this dream? What associations do you have with this symbol? If this dream were trying to tell you something about your life right now, what might it be? The goal isn't to decode some universal dream dictionary, but to help you understand the unique symbolic language of your own unconscious mind. Your dreams might use images from your childhood, from movies you've seen, or from experiences you've had. The analyst helps you recognize these personal symbols and understand what they might be trying to communicate. But it's not just dreams. Jungian analysts also pay attention to the symbols that show up in your waking life. Maybe you keep seeing a particular animal, or you're drawn to certain colors or images. Maybe you find yourself repeatedly humming a song or thinking about a particular memory. These seemingly random occurrences might actually be your unconscious mind trying to get your attention. Have you ever had a dream that felt more real than your waking life? Or found yourself drawn to certain symbols or images without knowing why? A Jungian analyst would be fascinated by these experiences and would help you explore what they might mean for your journey of self-discovery. The shadow self, meeting your hidden parts. Perhaps one of Jung's most important contributions to psychology is the concept of the shadow. Those parts of ourselves that we've rejected, denied, or hidden away. The shadow isn't necessarily evil or bad. It's simply the aspects of our personality that we've learned are unacceptable or that we've never allowed ourselves to express. A Jungian analyst helps you develop a relationship with your shadow, not to eliminate it, but to integrate it in healthy ways. They understand that the qualities we most dislike in others often reflect disowned parts of ourselves. The person who irritates you with their selfishness might be showing you your own unacknowledged need to set boundaries and take care of yourself. Shadow work isn't about becoming someone you're not. It's about reclaiming the lost parts of who you are. Maybe you've always been the nice person, never allowing yourself to express anger or assert your needs. Or perhaps you've prided yourself on being rational and logical, cutting yourself off from your emotional or creative side. The analyst creates a safe space where you can explore these hidden aspects without judgment. They help you understand that integrating your shadow doesn't mean acting out in destructive ways. It means finding healthy, creative ways to honor all parts of yourself. Think about it. What qualities do you most judge in others? What aspects of yourself do you work hardest to hide? A Jungian analyst would be curious about these questions, because they often point toward the very qualities that, once integrated, could bring you greater wholeness and authenticity. The journey of individuation. At the heart of Jungian analysis is the concept of individuation, the lifelong process of becoming who you truly are, rather than who others expect you to be or who you think you should be. This isn't about becoming selfish or self-centered. It's about discovering your unique gifts, your authentic voice, and your individual path in life. The analyst serves as a witness and guide on this journey. They help you recognize the difference between your true self and the masks you wear to fit in or please others. They support you as you make difficult choices about how to live authentically, even when that means disappointing others or facing uncertainty. Individuation often involves what Jung called the dark night of the soul, periods of confusion, depression, or spiritual crisis that actually represent important transitions in your psychological development. A Jungian analyst understands that these difficult periods aren't just problems to be solved, but sacred passages that can lead to greater wisdom and wholeness. The process isn't linear. You might find yourself cycling through similar themes at different levels of depth throughout your life. Each time you encounter a familiar pattern or challenge, you have the opportunity to engage with it from a more mature, integrated perspective. What would it look like for you to live from your authentic self rather than from the expectations of others? What parts of yourself have you been hiding or denying? These are the kinds of questions that guide the individuation process. When to consider Jungian analysis. You might be wondering if Jungian analysis is right for you. This approach is particularly helpful if you find yourself asking deeper questions about your life's meaning and purpose. If you're tired of just managing symptoms and want to understand the deeper patterns that shape your experience, Jungian analysis might be exactly what you need. People often come to Jungian analysis when they're feeling stuck in repetitive patterns, when they're going through major life transitions, or when they're experiencing what Jung called a midlife crisis, that period when the goals and values that once motivated you no longer feel meaningful. It's also valuable if you're curious about your dreams, if you feel drawn to explore the spiritual or transcendent aspects of your experience, or if you sense that there are parts of yourself that you've never fully expressed or understood. Jungian analysis requires a willingness to engage with uncertainty and ambiguity. It's not about getting quick answers or immediate relief. It's about developing a deeper relationship with yourself and learning to trust your own inner wisdom. The process can be challenging because it asks you to face the parts of yourself that you've been avoiding. But it's also deeply rewarding because it helps you discover resources and capacities within yourself that you never knew existed. Your path to wholeness. As we wrap up our exploration of Jungian analysis, I want to leave you with this thought: you are not a problem to be solved. You are a mystery to be lived. Your unconscious mind is not your enemy. It's your wisest teacher, constantly offering you opportunities for growth, healing, and transformation. The work of a Jungian analyst is to help you develop a relationship with this inner wisdom. They help you recognize that your struggles aren't signs of failure, but invitations to become more fully yourself. They support you in discovering that the very qualities you've been trying to change or hide might actually be the keys to your greatest gifts. Jung believed that the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. This isn't a destination you arrive at, but a journey you embark on, a lifelong process of discovery, integration, and growth. So I challenge you today: what would it look like to befriend your own unconscious mind? What would change in your life if you trusted that your psyche is always working toward your healing and wholeness? What dreams, symbols, or recurring patterns in your life might be trying to tell you something important about your path forward? The journey of individuation isn't always easy, but it's the most meaningful work you'll ever do. Because at the end of the day, the relationship you have with yourself is the foundation for every other relationship in your life. If this resonates with you, I'd love to hear about your own experiences with dreams, symbols, or the process of self-discovery. Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this helpful, please give it a like and subscribe for more content exploring the depths of human psychology and personal growth. Remember, your unconscious mind is speaking to you right now. The question is, are you ready to listen?